Now, President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 11 new chief executive officers for agencies under the Federal Ministry of Art, Culture and Creative Economy. The appointments were announced in a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Anjuri Ngalale. Our correspondent Theophilus Elama has more on this.
The creative industry in Nigeria over the years is said to have grown largely without government input. President Tinubu came on the heel of the renewed hope agenda in all spheres of the nation's economy, including the creative sector, set to be the second largest employer of labor. To achieve this aim of developing the sector, the federal government made 11 key appointments in different arms of the creative sector. Practitioners believe this is a step in the right direction, as these appointments were made with the growth of the sector in mind.
My reaction to that is one of promising. It's nice to see familiar faces, some of the people that we know we've worked with before, either we've partnered before or we know of their previous antecedents. It's interesting to see those appointments. I'm excited for what the future holds. It's the real case of square peg and square holes, but time will tell. It's exciting now, but it's time that would really put them to the test and see whether they can bring this our vibe, our energy, and bring it into the institutions and work changes from within.
Popular faces in the team include Stola Akerele, who has been appointed as the Director General of the National Theatre. Dr. Shoaibu Hussaini was appointed Director General, National Films and Video Censors Board. L.B. Asika, before his appointment, was known for his involvement in the growth of Nigeria's music industry as the founder and CEO of Storm 360, an indigenous music label. Storm 360 has helped a lot of Nigerian entertainers, including Nato C, Ikechukwu, Sasha P, General Pipe, amongst others. He has been appointed as the Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture. Ali Nuhu, a prominent Nigerian actor and director, acted in both Hausa and English movies and was also known as the King of Kannywood. He has been appointed as Managing Director, Nigerian Film Corporation. These are few of the 11 persons appointed by the federal government to deliver the goods. But they have the Herculean task of ensuring the sector is optimally utilized to create more employment while contributing to the nation's GDP. Theophilus Elama, TVC News, Lagos.
Joining me now for more on this is the founder, chairman, Chocolate City Group, Audu Maikori. Good to have you on the news at this time. So let's first off get your perspective on the appointment of your colleagues now in the creative industry and your expectations in terms of how they can foster innovation, creativity within their respective agencies.
Well, thank you so much for having me. A privilege to talk to you. I think this, for me, is a sterling. I'm very, very excited. I mean, I'm like everyone is so excited about the appointment because it is spare. Is it round pegs and round holes? None of these names are unknown to us. They have a proven personal track record of building companies and building institutions and being very big contributors to the creative economy. So with this appointment, we're expecting so much. And I'm sure that they're going to deliver because they've spent the past 15, 20 years of their careers building up to this moment. And I think it's exciting to have so many people at the same time because sometimes you have just one or two people in the sector. I also want to commend Mr. President for the creation of the Creative Economy and Culture Ministry because that's never happened before. And the creative economy, like you rightly said before, is potentially the greatest employer of labor, especially young people between the ages of 18 and 40. Or 35. So this is amazing, and kudos to Mr. President and the Minister of Culture for these sterling appointments.
Yeah, with that being said, let's look at the increasing influence now of the youth in the creative industry. How do you think these executives now can perhaps harness or ensure a meaningful engagement of the youthful generation now in shaping the cultural landscape in terms of what they are asked to do?
Yeah, I think that already we've already seen quite a few engagements from the Minister of Culture over the past 4 or 5 months. There have been stakeholder engagements around the country and addressing different creative industry sector leaders. But now with these new appointments, we now have a more, shall I say, a more granular penetration and more engagement with young people. Because the truth is, young people need to be engaged and engaged in a way that makes sense, right? The creative economy is the only sector that employs a large amount of women. I mean, look at Nollywood. The biggest players in Nollywood really today is driven primarily by women. Now think about what one film production does. Easily you're hiring 200-300 people for one film production. Think about arts and crafts in the visual sector. So what is required is that these people already are key stakeholders, and they're not strangers to the economy, to the industry. What we found in the past is that people who have no connection with the industry are appointed. So there's a disjoint. There's no connection. So it's really disjointed in a sense. But now these people already have the database. They have the stakeholders. They've been engaged. They know the problems. They've been in it, and now they have the opportunity to engage stakeholders and fix the problems. And I'm sure with the support of the presidency and, of course, the ministry, they'll do a great job.
And how can success be measured in this case in the creative sector, looking at the problems that the creative sector might have encountered? And what do you think should be the indicators now? Should the executive focus to evaluate their leadership so far in handling of this new role?
Well, one of the issues that we've had before, that there have been some concerted efforts to stimulate the creative economy, but there's been no core focus. If you look at the Ministry of Culture and Arts over the past 20, 30 years, they have so much to do, and there's little concentration, say, in film or music. Then you have the Video and Film Censors Board, you have the Film Corporation. All these have specific mandates. For example, the NFC's mandate is to, under the Institute, is to train the next generation of filmmakers and actors and actresses. And when you think about things like the National Troupe or the National Gallery of Art, there's been some effort. But what is changing now is that there is a huge amount of resources available that's never been there before. Case in point, Afrexim earmarked $1 billion for the creative economy between 2021 and 2026. Right, that money, as we were talking about that money now, in November 2023 at the IATF conference, they announced another $1 billion in film fund. There's the ICE DICE program that was announced by the vice president and who chairs the committee, which is another $625 million that is to create skills, is to develop skills, create job opportunities, encourage entrepreneurship in the sector. Now, when you have a very wholesome policy and you have clear focus on delivering on those policies and funding, then it's easy to scale. And what we need right now in Nigeria is scale. We have already scaled globally. We're winning international awards. We're doing great things with film festivals. We're packing our arenas and concerts, and we're making some amazing art. What has been lacking is the government focus, the policy, and more importantly, the funding. And all these components are there, and now we have the right people. Right. I don't think that there's any reason why we won't succeed.
All right, that's a fine place to leave it. Thank you so much, Audu Maikori, Chief Executive Founder, Chairman, Chocolate City Group. We appreciate your insights on the news at 7 this evening.
Thank you. Thanks, Simon. Thanks.
Well, let's go outside Nigeria. Well, Taiwanese voters have chosen William Lai as